for our main event of the evening between Robert Hale and Peter Petties. Robert Hale 14-6 overall, Peter the Joker Petties at 9-7. 2 years separate these men, with Petties being the slightly elder man, but Robert Hale enjoys 1 inch in height. The Blue King weighed in at 171 pounds, while the Joker weighed in at 169.6. Welterweight throne is up for grabs. We send it inside to Shane Graham to get these gladiators into the octagon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the cage our first fighter, coming to us by way of the blue corner, Peter Petties.
Born in North Brunswick, New Jersey, fighting out of Maryland, USA. He went to Morgan State University, has a Wu-Tang Shaolin background, been a professional since August of 2014, one-time Contender Series vet, 2 times on the PFL. Some severe competition that the Joker has faced in the PFL. 20-1 Andre Harrison, 20-9 Alexandre de Almeida, and then on the Contender Series, guess who he got the chance to trade leather with? Julio Arce. Now, when we think about Peter Petties, one of the biggest things that comes to mind is the state championship in Greco-Roman wrestling and the chance to compete in the Fargo wrestling tournament. David Evans, I know you're aware of that Fargo tournament.
I know a little bit about Fargo. I mean, essentially in the wrestling community, you place in Fargo top 8, you're going to one of the big D1 schools. You know, I placed 4th. He said he got an opportunity to compete. I mean, so that just speaks to his high-level wrestling, Greco-Roman specifically. So look for him to go out there, look for body locks, look for inside trips, look for throws from Petties whenever they get to that over and under and grappling sequences on the feet.
In 16 fights, Peter the Joker Petties has only been finished 1 time, and that was all the way back in 2017. He is as durable as you could possibly be. Outside of competition, he's currently getting a doctorate in his chiropractic medicine, a licensed masseuse, and is an IT manager. Clearly smart, not only with the hands, but with the brain, David.
A man of many talents he is.
You know, when he fought on the Contender Series, he told us that he had a sprained ankle. When he fought in the PFL, he said that he was suffering from torn shoulder. This is the first fight that Peter Petties says he's finally at 100%, and that's all due to the recovery. He just wasn't recovering well or repairing his body after tough training camps or tough days in the gym.
Definitely said that he's learned over time to, train smarter, not necessarily harder every time, and then taking care of his body so he can go out there and perform to the best of his abilities, which he feels he hasn't really had the opportunity to do in the past.
It's time to leave it all out in the APFC octagon. The 16th ranked U.S. Northeast Pro welterweight, Peter the Joker Petties, here in Richmond, Virginia.
And his opponent set to make his way to the cage and fighting out of the red corner, Robert Hale.
Winner in 6 of his last 7 mixed martial arts bouts, comes into this one on a 3-fight win streak. Was a 260-pound football player, supposed to go to Georgia State, started watching Strikeforce, and his dad said, I think you can do this. Here he is, fighting for gold in the main event of APFC 6. David, this guy is one of the most talented people on the regional scene.
Very much so, and at some point along the way, he believes he can do it because he's doing it, and he's doing it at the highest level here at APFC. I'm excited about this fight. We have 2 experienced, high-level professionals with the gold on the line. As my coach used to say, the stakes are high, babe.
Has a win in the LFA that came in July of 2019. Also notably knocked out Nicholas Mota at 8-6 FFC in November of 2018. Another notable opponent, now 11-0, Ramazan Karamagomedov, which was in the PFL, I believe. So again, we talk about Peter Petties, really experienced opponents. Robert Hale has also duked it out with guys who have achieved a lot inside the combat sports scene.
Very much so, and we have 2 veterans of the game right now. They're going to go out there, they're going to put it all on the line. Only one person is walking out with that APFC gold.
He says that this will be the best APFC main event that we've had yet. He has the ultimate opportunity now to claim some hardware. Here he is, Robert the Blue King Hale in the red corner, David.
You can cut the tension in here with a knife, Ben. I'm telling you, it's electric in here ever since these 2 guys have walked out.
high stakes at 170. We send it to Shane Graham to get our main event underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Virginia DPOR Boxing, Martial Arts, and Professional Wrestling Advisory Board. With Executive Director Kate Nospich, Board Operations Administrator Jermaine Gray, and Program Coordinator Vernon Porter in attendance. Our physician cage side is Dr. Travis Lee, and our judges scoring the contest are Luke Belhammer, Lisa Cuellar, and Brian Costello. And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Angel Ortiz. And now, for those in attendance at the Greater Richmond Convention Center, and to the fight fans watching around the world on UFC Fight Pass, let's go to war! It's fight time! 3 5-minute rounds in the APFC Welterweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist standing at 5 feet, 10 inches tall. He weighed in at 169.6 pounds and holds a professional record of 9 wins with 7 defeats. Fighting out of Columbia, Maryland, here is Peter the Joker Petties. And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial arts standing at 5 feet, 11 inches tall. He weighed in at 171 pounds and holds a professional record of 14 wins, minus 6 defeats. Fighting out of Atlanta, Georgia, here is Robert Blue King Hale.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules earlier today. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Fight clean, fight hard. Any final questions? No touch gloves. Go back to your scores. Get ready to come out fighting.
170-pound title is on the line between Robert the Blue King Hale and Peter the Joker Petties. It's an honor and a pleasure to welcome the Bellator bantamweight champ Sergio Pettis into the booth. Serge, how we doing?
Fighting, ready, fight!
We get going and underway. You can see Petties with that southpaw stance, Hale with the orthodox.
It's an honor, it's a privilege, and really appropriate that we bring the Bellator champion in, as we are going to crown our first welterweight champion for APFC. What are you seeing right off the bat, Sergio?
Man, it's beautiful, beautiful technique from both sides. You know, explosive from both sides. Excited to see the rest of this fight, man. Got a lot to look forward to.
Sergio, when we think about this stance matchup, right, southpaw versus orthodox, what kind of tools are available to both guys?
Man, there's so many angles and so many straight shots on both sides that it's dangerous for southpaw and orthodox. So very excited to see how this fight plays out.
The Joker with the ultimate opportunity to upset one of the most touted individuals on the regional scene. A lot of people this week were telling me that Robert Hale could be the next big thing and he deserves a crack at the big show. That starts right now, right here in the APFC 6 main event. David Evans, what are you seeing?
Man, so far these guys are just kind of testing the waters. They're both explosive athletes and they're just kind of nervous trying to get a feel for each other. However, Petties breaking that pattern as he comes in with a spinning attack.
Sergio Pettis, 90 seconds have transpired. What are some of the big things popping out to you right now?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, his last name's popping out. No, I like Pettis a lot.
He might be the brother of yours.
Blue corner's looking smooth,
It's got to be a good omen, right?
He's got that swag.
One thing about Peter the Joker Petties that I thought was quite funny this fight week, we got back to the hotel late around 11:30 p.m. last night. He was just walking around outside, just hanging out.
Just living life, man. Ain't nothing new, just another fight.
Just another day in the life of a fighter, possibly soon to be championship fighter.
Yes, sir.
Big shot right
Deep
there.
shot, very deep.
Petties looking to bounce back from 2 losses in August of 2022 and December 2021. Gets the opportunity to right those wrongs. David Evans, 2 minutes down. What are you thinking?
There we just saw shades of that Greco wrestling ability from Petties as he tried the over and under throw. However, didn't quite get it, but he exploded it right back up with that athleticism, which he could have ended up in a bad spot, but now we're back to our feet.
Sergio, when we think about cage generalmanship, Robert Hale really commanding the center and dictating where this fight's been.
Yeah, Robert Hale's doing a great job of just staying in the middle, keeping that range. Very smart options. He's a very well-rounded fighter. You can see that.
Both guys have experience in the PFL. Petties, contender series against Julio Arce, and Robert Hale, successful in his lone LFA outing. These guys, I mean, are top of the regional scene. Peter the Joker Petties, 16th ranked in the U.S. Northeast. Robert Hale, the 6th ranked pro welterweight in the United States. It's a big knee from the Joker.
Explosive knee by Petties. Hale shakes it off. I mean, is he really hurt? We'll never know, but that was, he brought that from hell.
That was beautiful. A beautiful explosion.
Sergio, I think he might just be a Pettis brother with moves like that.
Yeah, he might be his own thing, man. He's smooth. He's smooth out there.
2 minutes remain in round number 1. Tonight's main event brought to you by Limitless and Smills CBD. Make sure you grab some on your way out. Peter Petties, as creative as you can be, David.
Very much so, but then we have Hale on the opposite side. Notice he's been throwing that rear leg to Petties' rear hand, which is going to try to neutralize Petties' power on that side.
One thing about Robert Hale that I thought was interesting when we spoke with him is that he said that his fight IQ is simply levels higher, but Peter Petties keeps uncorking these creative, unorthodox movements, Serge.
Beautiful, beautiful work by Peter. You know, giving Hale a lot of things to think about. You can tell Hale is a very rhythm fighter.
And Petties just seems to be very relaxed, taking what Hale is giving him, not forcing any option, so to speak.
For sure. He's looking smooth out there. That boy's peanut butter right now.
1 minute remains in round number 1. Again, 3 potential here. It's been a pretty electric pace. David, I'm not sure that these guys will be able to keep this up.
You know, I think they can because they're being explosive, but they're being explosive in spots. They're not just going out there being reckless. I mean, it's a very measured, explosive style from 2 professionals.
That one went airborne, Serge. Peter Petties looking really collected.
He's smooth, man. I'm liking his style. He's confident. He's throwing spin moves. He's having fun out there, smiling in between this. That's what MMA is all about. You know, having fun. A fun fighter is a dangerous fighter.
Exactly, and it makes him unpredictable in his movements. You almost don't know what to expect and when to expect from anything from Petties.
Exactly.
Final 19 seconds here in the first round of our main event. Petties just cloistering Robert Hale. Hale trying to frame, bounces off. Last seconds, David.
Sergio, so you've been in this predicament before. Championship title fight, first round, and in the third. Nobody's really done anything significant. What's going through your mind?
Know, it's a filling out process. It's just getting used to your opponent, you know, getting used to the crowd in general. So, you know, I think, you know, this next round we'll see exactly what these guys have to bring to the table.
You know, another notable opponent for Robert Hale back in the day took on the UFC's Trayshawn Gore. It was an amateur fight. It was a split decision loss. That really tells what your level is. Let's take it to some highlights from round number 1. Sergio Pettis, walk me through the action.
Let's check it out. Pettis with a beautiful, Petties with a beautiful entry. Hale doing a great job defending, man. These guys are both high-level fighters. You can tell that they're very educated. Oh, beautiful jump knee, beautiful. Explosive, relaxed. I like what I'm seeing.
David Evans, when you think about that creativity, I mean, elbows, knees, spinning kicks down to the legs. You just don't know what Petties is going to throw.
Petties is in the zone early, and like everything he's throwing is so fluid and effortless. I'd hate to see what his strikes are like when he just wants to put you out. Yeah, you know, like when he goes in there with ill will, like imagine what that's like.
Oh, man.
Ill will is certainly the name of the Joker's game. Round number 2 between Robert the Blue King Hale and Peter the Joker Petties for our welterweight title.
No way for him.
Again, back to the center is Robert Hale, trying to draw out some feints right now, David.
Petties sticking to his game plan, just being smooth, sticking, moving, sliding left and right, in and out. And Hale, same thing, marching forward, looking for his shots, looking to pick a big shot, possibly.
Really conventional approach here from Hale, but with Petties being more active, throwing a lot more volume, you would say that he's winning the more minutes, Sergio.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, it depends on the judges, whoever's judging this fight. You know, Hale's taking a great job of controlling the center and just marching down Petties, but Petties has got a beautiful style, spinning moves, you know, making the crowd entertained. That's what it's all about.
We talked about the Greco-Roman experience for Peter Petties, but he did spend a lot of time in Bangkok, Thailand, training that Muay Thai with those expert practitioners. So when we think about well-roundedness, David, he's kind of got a complete game.
Very much so, and his Greco-Roman experience is why he's so comfortable throwing unorthodox strike. He's not scared if Hale gets in on his hips because he knows he can always throw an explosive throw, lock him up, body lock. So that's why he's so comfortable moving in and out the way that he is.
Big head kick right there. Robert Hale wears it well. These guys, they're not going to give you anything in terms of expression, Serge.
Not at all, man. These guys are both veterans. You can tell that they're both educated in what they do, and you know, they got a small window of opportunity with who could take advantage of that small window.
Speaking of small window, it looked like Petties landed a small left hook, and he pointed at Hale and told him, hey, I got you. I got your number, perhaps.
I love that. It's beautiful.
The Joker is in the groove in round number 2, here for the welterweight title. But Robert Hale, I mean, just still on the pressure, still on controlling the cage. David, do you think that it's wise to maybe reverse that, or is Petties good staying on the outside?
I think Petties he's doing it right. He's not just sitting with his back against the cage, giving up real estate. He's moving left to right, he's moving in and out, and he's landing the most significant strikes, if you ask me.
If you look at the Tapology predictions, Robert Hale is a 95% favorite to win the welterweight title. Only 5% of people predicted Petties, Serge.
Wow, man. You know, that's how the game goes, man. You know, it's the numbers really don't matter until you get in there and feel the person out. So we're seeing what's going on. You know, it's beautiful from both ends.
Hale connects on the inside. Petties avoids the majority of the fire. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remains in round number 2. Good work by both guys, David. I mean, it is really just neck and neck here.
So far, man, these guys are just equally matched. I mean, that's a testament, as I said, more than a few times tonight, the matchmaking at APFC and the caliber of athletes and fighters that they bring here. I mean, this is definitely a noteworthy main event.
Peter the Joker Petties has gone to the judges' scorecard 12 times. 4 of those were split decision losses. So if you do the math, his record could be 13-3, which is, you know, by the optics, better than the 9-7 that he currently has, David.
For sure, and we've been seeing Hale. He's kind of sticking to the game plan, just marching forward, being methodical, throwing that rear leg kick to the head, actually. And it doesn't really seem to phase Petties, so he either needs to make an adjustment now or his coaches need to get in his ear and maybe say, hey, switch it up. Sergio, I know you've done that on a world-class level where you maybe ran into some resistance and had to switch up the game plan. How is that?
For sure, man. You got to face adversity in your career. That's one thing both these guys are facing currently. You know, a lot of adversity, big crowd here, a big opportunity on the UFC Fight Pass for APFC. Yeah, man, it's a great fight, though. It's a great fight.
The Joker laughing his way through some strikes from Hale. I mean, in terms of just enthusiasm, you know, and having fun, this guy is enjoying his time in the octagon.
Definitely. You could just see it on his face. Having a great time out there. Not a care in the world.
Thunderous body kick from Petties. The Joker connects to the midsection.
Beautiful combination by Petties there as he dipped in, body, head on Hale with that lead right hand.
Just under 60 seconds remains. Hale blocks that one. Sergio, I'm curious, what would you add to Robert the Blue King Hale's approach here?
Man, he's just got to keep on doing what he's doing, marching him down, get a little bit more defensive, you know, checking those kicks, blocking those kicks as well, but also returning, you know, giving Pettis something to think about, not keeping that range. Pettis is just keeping that range and having some fun with it. Hale's got to march him.
Final 30 seconds. You can see on the trunks of Robert Hale, I am the greatest. He's certainly going to need to live up to that quote, David.
Very much so, and like Sergio was saying, he's sticking to his game plan, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because if he gets to the position in the spot that he wants, it could pay dividends for him. However, Petty's just so relaxed, so fluid, it almost seems like nothing can get to him at this point.
Yeah, he's flowing out there.
Like water is the Joker. Peter Petties, final 10 seconds, and some dexterity to avoid that one, Sergio.
A little fade back. We were talking about haircuts earlier. That was a fade.
Lean back.
Lean and mean. Round number 2, and our main event comes to a close. Peter the Joker Petties and Robert the Blue King Hale. Again, Both had some really standout moments. Sergio, your takeaway of that second round?
Man, it's a close fight, honestly. You know, they're doing good things on both sides. Hale's really dictating the fight, you know, marching down this guy, but also maintaining the range. Petties is just creative and having fun out there, man. It's depending on who's judging this fight, we could go either way.
David Evans, let's take it to some highlights from round number 2 between Hale and Petties.
And here we go. We got Petties throwing the kick. As we've been saying, he's just out there just kind of in the zone and flowing, moving left and right. Everything Hale at Petties. Petties has an answers for it. He evades, just styling and profiling as he slips out of the pocket, gives a little smirk there for Hale. That's got to be frustrating. Hale gave him a haircut there with that kick, but, you know, Petties just still comfortable throwing the body kick. We've seen pretty much anything and everything from Petties. Some great intelligent inside boxing from Petties. Body head with that lead right hand, even throwing his own rear back kicks. He's thrown literally everything but the kitchen sink in this fight.
The offense and defense has been on point for the Joker. I am inclined to believe him when he says that this is the fight that he finally feels 100% in.
Third and final round. Ready? Fight!
Very much so. I saw him walking around with a t-shirt that said, "Why so serious?" You know, the notable phrase from the Joker. And yeah, why so serious? You can go out there and fight like that and have fun.
Oh, big connections by Hale. The Joker and the Blue King exchanging in the pocket.
Hale picking up the pace, moving with some urgency. Perhaps he knows he's down at this juncture of the fight in the last round, and he has to go out there and get it.
Sergio, in terms of judging, how do you think those first 2 rounds were judged?
Man, it's a close fight. I ain't gonna lie. You know, it could go either way, depending on who's judging this fight tonight. But I like Pettis a lot, man. I'm liking his style, so I'm gonna have to go with Pettis.
Both gentlemen could be in a position where they need to finish. Peter Petties seems to be a bit destabilized. Robert Hale connects.
That was a slip there by Petties, and that could have cost him, but he was able to move his head out just enough.
Excellent fundamentals by the Joker. Whenever he goes right down the center, it's typically connecting. 4 minutes remain in round number 3. Robert Hale ties up, David.
Petty still, he's composed, got his back against the fence, but we've seen this before. He's against the fence, he slips out left, he slips out right, and then he tags Hale himself. But Hale still marching forward, throwing the jab, looking to land a big shot.
Sergio Pettis was about to say not much grappling has transpired. There's a shot from Petties.
Ooh, mixing it together, man, it's beautiful. Mixing in them takedowns. You know, being a striker, you got to put in those takedowns to add those striking shots up a little bit more. So, good high IQ by both fighters.
A car crash in every single exchange. The power is on display for both welterweights. Robert Hale still commanding the center, but David, one might think that he needs to just turn it up a notch if he wants to become the welterweight champion.
Very much so. I mean, not just turning up a notch, but let's approach this fight from a different lens. Let's see what happens when we shoot. Let's see what happens when we shoot a leg attack and put Petties in a position that we haven't seen yet. I mean, because at this juncture, Petties comfortable everywhere.
For sure, you can tell Petties is kind of getting him in his game. You know, getting Hale to fight in the stand-up range, and yeah, I mean, he's doing a great job just luring him in.
Doubling up with the leg kicks right there is the Joker. Robert Hale trying to reach into the pocket with that jab. Nothing going.
The shot would do Hale some good, especially since he has octagon control. Even if you don't get the takedown, you can burn the clock.
For sure,
just
man.
Having your opponent's back against the cage, and that's where ring generalship and the fighting IQ comes in.
For sure. Just gotta shoot in, man, and just trust that wrestling, trust that grappling. You can tell Pettis is a stand-up fighter in general.
Peter Petties on the back foot here, but still working beautifully. Nothing really deterring Peter Petties. Good jab right there from Hale. I love the reactions from Petties. Anytime he does get clipped, he's just smiling, Serge.
Oh, man, it's beautiful. You know, that's what we like to see MMA. You know, it's just very, like you said, why so serious? He's out there having fun, man. Oh, that was a little serious, though.
Hale now coming alive with some strikes. 2 minutes remain in our welterweight title fight. Peter Petties' kick gets caught, almost gets brought down with that huge head kick. David Evans, we're in the final stretch. Robert Hale might need to make something big happen.
Yeah, we're coming up on a minute and a half, and he hasn't done anything bad. He just hasn't done anything great. He's stuck to the same game plan, been marching forward the whole fight. It's not working. We have to do something different. He's pumping the lead hand jab out there. That doesn't typically work well against a southpaw. I would like to see him maybe change the angle on that lead hand with the left hook. Maybe bring a right hand or a right leg kick behind that.
For sure. There's a lot of options for Hale right now. He's just not seeing it now. He'll figure it out, though. Well, hopefully.
Both guys
Petties is going to take it over.
Both guys are bona fide finishers. Robert the Blue King Hale with 4 knockouts. Peter Petties with 3 knockouts. So that power does carry.
Beautiful left hand, 1-2 by Petties. After taking one from Hale, and that's got to be discouraging. You hit someone hard, you expect to see him back up. Petties right back in it and throws the 2-piece right down the middle to your face.
Final 60 seconds. Hale's trying to come alive, Sergio.
Petties is the one looking like Muhammad Ali right now. He's looking like the greatest.
That boy is smooth, evading kicks, evading, controlling the range. Beautiful job, having fun out there. That's what it's all about.
Robert Hale certainly looking more labored in round 3 than he did in round 1. Good stick by the Joker.
And I think it's more impressive from Petties because if you look at him, he has all the intangibles to be explosive and just rely on power.
Oh!
But he's technical.
Robert Hale with a big connection. Final 30 seconds. Can he close the door on Peter Petties?
Petties gets caught slipping right there, literally. Recovers, ties up Hale. 13 seconds left. I don't think much is going to happen beyond that. But you never know. This is the fight game.
Yeah, MMA is wild. MMA is wild, man. Anything can happen.
The Joker has been slipping and sliding around the octagon, but by all accounts, a better offensive and defensive display. Sergio Pettis, we go the distance. Your thoughts?
Man, it was a great fight on both ends. I couldn't judge this personally. They both did some great things, but we'll see who the winner is tonight.
What a great representation of himself is Peter the Joker Petties, just floating and stinging on the outside. And the creativity, I mean, jumping knees, the back elbows, you can't train that type of offense. Sergio, let's take it to some highlights from that 3rd and final round.
Petties with the kick. Hale's doing a great job marching him down. Beautiful hands on both ends, man. What a fight. What a fight on both ends. Petties just smiling, going through it, throwing some jump kicks. Man, very entertaining on both ends.
Just not a will to quit in either guy. They're both really active late in this round, and the power of Robert Hale carries. I mean, he could have potentially finished that with that last 20 seconds.
For sure, man. Small windows, like I said, small windows opportunity. He was definitely trying to take advantage of that. We'll see what happens, man. It's what a fight on both ends. Very, very exciting card.
It's going to be a tough one to judge, that constant pressure and dictating where the fight takes place from Hale. But offensively, I felt like Peter Petties just was doing better work holistically.
Yeah. Oh, a little slip up right there.
Our welterweight title, the inaugural crowning of a 170-pound champion. You can see Anthony Pettis in there with the belt, and Sergio, it's a damn good belt.
Beautiful belt, man. I got a chance to feel it, nice and heavy. It's definitely worthy, definitely worthy.
Have to say, in the event that we find this one being ran back in the future, I don't think I'd complain with 2 extra rounds.
Oh, not at all, not at all. 2 extra rounds I think would be necessary next time.
You can see Robert Hale indicating that he's the victor. The Joker similarly responding. Both guys feel they've done enough. And it's hard to argue against it. I can see a case for both sides.
Definitely. We'll see what the judges think about this one, but I could see both sides definitely coming out successful.
Robert Hale told us that this was going to be the best APFC main event. Sergio, I'm curious, if you were to rate this one, where would it fall in terms of APFC main events?
They only had 6 cards so far, but this is definitely top 2. This is a great card. Both sides are active, excellent throwing hands. Virginia in general is a great crowd, so yeah, man, beautiful APFC 6.
I'm curious, what's your experience been like in Richmond, Virginia over the last several days?
You know what, it's been awesome. I'm from Wisconsin, so it's not as warm as it is in Virginia. I'm getting used to the heat, but it's been a great time. Everybody's been awesome, big fight fans, so Virginia's been a great time.
It's certainly been some amazing energy, and the greater Richmond Convention Center has been a perfect home for APFC 6. Our main event, Robert the Blue King Hale and Peter the Joker Petties goes the distance. Our inaugural welterweight throne is up for grabs. We set it inside to chase Shane Graham to crown the champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Our judges scored this contest 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27, all for your winner by unanimous decision. And now, the new APFC welterweight champion, Peter the Joker Petties!
Only seems it's fitting that Peter the Joker Petties wins an Anthony Pettis' fighting championship, the new welterweight champion. Sergio Pettis, your immediate reaction?
Man, you know what? I had to go with Peter Pettis, just not because of the last name, but because of the
APFC
style.
welterweight
Beautiful.
champion,
Let's send it to David Evans for a post-fight
the
interview.
Joker Petties. Peter, why so serious? You went out there and you had fun, you styled, you profiled, you put on one of the most phenomenal, fun performances I've seen in the APFC cage. How does it feel to be the champion, and how does it feel to perform like that on this stage?
Man, this is 12 years of hard work. I've had probably the most difficult year getting here, moving to a new state, new team, new everything. I just want to thank God and thank everyone that stayed loyal to me and stayed by my side through thick and thin. Other than that, hard work, baby. You know, whenever you get down or you have anything that pushes you in life, man up. I don't want to say man up to all my women, but put your big boy boots on, or you know stilettos, and do your thing, man.
So Hale was one of the highly touted prospects out there on the scene. What were you expecting from him tonight?
Just what I got, man. I knew he wasn't going to back down. That man's on a 4-fight win streak. He's probably going to sign to UFC, if not in the next 2 fights. So it's good to have his name on my record. That's a tough guy. He's going to be there. And I'm glad to get a win off of him. I'm coming off a year layoff. You know, just getting my mind right, and to come back on a guy who's on a 4-fight win streak, number 4 outside of the UFC, number 1 in Georgia. Hey, I live in Georgia now, so give me that ranking. I'm number 1 in Georgia, baby.
As a fighter and a competitor, I know it's hard to think past your next fight. But I mean, after a performance, a world-class, nonetheless, performance like that, what's next for you? Do you defend?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna defend. You know, I want all the smoke, so it don't matter who it is. But I do want to drop to 55. I am a little small for this weight class. I just been eating a little bit, but you know the skills are there.
A little small, but big performance.
You know. But yeah, I would love to be a 2-belt holder here. You know, do something. I'm happy to be here and just get some scraps, man. People have been ducking for too long. I want all the smoke, so whoever wants it can get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter the Joker Petties.
Double-digit wins, finally, for Peter the Joker Petties as he captures the inaugural APFC welterweight throne. Can't chop it up better than that. Sergio, when we think about that title capturing performance, it really just came down to the creativity, the enthusiasm. I mean, when you look at optics, he was just having a good time.
Great time, man. He's having fun out there. He's putting everything together. Beautiful display of MMA. But, man, beautiful performance by Peter.
Let's take it to a full fight card recap of just this main event here. Peter the Joker Petties and Robert Hale. David Evans, welcome back. What an exceptional main event we had.
Exceptional for sure. I mean, a big performance by Peter Petties. I mean, Hale was no slouch. Hale was not giving an inch. He stuck to his game plan and was in Petty's face the whole time. But it's hard to be in someone's face when you can't see them and they're moving and they're elusive. What Muhammad Ali say, the hands can't hit what the eyes can't see. And Peter Petties left here tonight as the welterweight champion.
And the explosive striking of Robert Hale. I mean, he was throwing intercontinental ballistic missiles, but Peter Petties was just too quick, too elusive, Sergio.
Yeah, man. Hale was trying to end this fight with every opportunity he had, but Peter was just used to getting thrown at, used to being out there facing that adversity, and yeah, man, he came out successful tonight. Congrats to Peter Petties.
And it's what we'd expect of a true veteran of the fighting scene. Again, Contender Series alumni, PFL veteran, 9-7 coming into this. He has faced everything and seen everything you could possibly give him, David.
Very much so, man. I was truly impressed. This was a world-class performance by Peter Petties, and I think this is going to launch him into some big things here in APFC.
Peter the Joker Petties cementing himself with a strong legacy in Richmond, Virginia. The first welterweight champion in APFC history. Man, what a fun fight card this has been. I mean, David Evans, we have